we really are super grateful to Elaine. Thank you so much for driving here and everything. So I'll take it away and give us a little bit of background of your own.
Okay. Thanks, Vicky. And my background, I'm a trained master printer. I went to Long Beach State back in the late 60s and early 70s. And my teachers were from either Atelier Lisette in Paris or the new Tamarind lithography before it moved to New Mexico. Where's Albuquerque? Yeah. So I trained specifically to print with artists, and I began teaching printmaking at Santa Barbara City College in 1979. 2 classes, just screen printing and a survey of etching. And I stayed at that job until 2002 when I transferred to the community adult education section, where I've now started a program. I overlapped them for 5 years. So we now have a adult ed printmaking program that's basically 10-week courses, including materials in printmaking for under $50. So until the state finds out about us. So that's what I've been doing for the last 5 or 6 years. So I also have a day job. Monday through Friday, I help run a company that builds high-end home theaters and home automation, which a company I started with my ex-husband. And that's what I do during the week. But it allows me to have a home and buy art. So I do this at nights and weekends and vacations. So a great interest of mine after printing by the piece for many years was as I got into my late 40s and early 50s, I got the opportunity to work just with artists whose work I was interested in, because as you know, master printers, as part of their fee, they get a copy. So I've been working with one artist at a time for the last 15 years, and about 12 years. And I'm currently working with Ethan Turpin, who's a conceptual artist out of Santa Barbara. So my role on this, obviously, is something that I've sort of come in and said to Mickey, who's known me for some years. I like community projects. I'm really into printmaking as an activity. I'm into prints as objects, and I'm into printmaking as a collaborative activity in a way that is more elaborate than even bronze casting. Everybody knows that when you see a big bronze statue in a town center, you know that the artists personally did not cast that. You know that they did a mock-up and a maquette, and then they worked with the foundry, but very few people know that 95% of all graphic prints in museums in the world are actually printed by master printers directly at the service of artists. And this is, of course, the Picassos and the Jim Dimes and the Chuck Closes and all this, all these artists. They're so ubiquitous, including Rauschenberg and everybody. They didn't need to be experts, and printmaking, of course, is a huge field. This is, I think, the best, even though I've made a lot of art and I sold some art and stuff, I'm not that good. The older you get, you start to realize how much genius you have, and at some point it wasn't enough, so I quit. And I'm now expressing myself by curating, collecting, and working with artists, which I think is a really good use of my time. So I'm here to be at your service, and I know some of you may have worked with master printers, and if you haven't, this is something that you should have, you should know about, and you should ask for and be part of it, and hopefully allow you to make works on paper. And I know a lot of artists will do prints as an entry-level collecting item, or it's just really no need to alert. So the scope of the project that I see is for us to have 10 artists, each doing a print that would then be boxed and sold as a collection of 10 works. I see an edition of 30 with maybe 4 or 5 extra prints, one of which I would get, one of which you would get, one of which probably would go towards perhaps a collection, a museum collection of appropriate to either place it at the Grunewald or the Brooklyn or someplace like that, and then perhaps one collection kept locally at the museum so that everybody would have a piece of that. And then my job then would be to work with you more or less one-on-one, although not individually one-on-one, but in small groups, to assist you to understand the process, the flexibilities, its limitations, and to do whatever technically you need, advice-wise and making-wise, so that you can get a graphical edition that you're happy with. So that's my goal. And I will provide facilities and my time and at least 2 assistants, like one for me personally and then one for you. So if you come up in groups of 3 or 5, I'm thinking 3 might be good, but we could do 5. Each one of you will have a gopher, and then I will have Sunday, and we will sort of work. My idea is to do a 2-day period with, some emailing of images and stuff back and forth and ideas. And then we get in there, we work with you closely, make the plate, and get one good proof, which is called a bon trait, and then that proof you would leave with me in the plate, and then we would print the rest of the edition while you're gone, which is perfect. So what you would, the burden for you would be to,
How long it takes to print an edition?
35. For me or for somebody else?
For you.
For me,
If we start now, today,
if you start now, I could probably have one by 6 o'clock if you do what I said. If I do what you say, 6 to 9 months. It just depends on, if you give me a plate that's ready to go, I can print it quickly. Because this particular medium is designed to be, and I'm going to explain a little bit of the technical part.
so there is one way that we all have to use. We can't go however we want.
Except for you, everybody else is going to do it my way. And I'm ready for you.
Because you can do this old school weird things like, like the wood cut, the etching always sheet like this.
Yeah, I know everything about printmaking. I've done it all, and I'm 60 years old, and I'm really good.
We can do it.
Technically, I'm not a good artist, but I'm a really good painter. I'm ready for whatever you guys do. If I can't do it, I'll let you know immediately. But what I've designed here, which I hope will work, technically, will allow us to get the job done in a way that I could still have a job, you guys could still have a job, and still have the exhibition, and we don't get lost in it and become consumed in the way that you can when you go to Gemini, GPL, or to Tamron, where everybody flutters around you, and if it turns out to be 40 feet long and 100 feet high, it's not a problem because they have an unlimited, and that's part of their apply in the big ateliers is to do stuff like this, additions of diamond dusted stuff, and we're not going to go there, but we're going to do the real thing. Actually, we can do this, but not that big, not in this project. So here's what I propose, and again, if you can't do it, it's not going to be a problem. You can't find the time, or you don't want to, or you can't find an image you're happy with. I don't think it's going to be a problem for me because I work with artists, and artists do know what they're doing, and I'm just here to help. I don't know what I'm doing in terms of art making, and I'll do the best I can. I've done all right, but sometimes people, you can't. Not everything's a success, but I think there's a chance that you're happy, and I think that the goal for me is that to be sure that you take the time with me, trust me, go through the process, make the print, and in the end, if you don't like it, out it goes. It's not because it's printed on rag paper that doesn't make it valuable. And if we end up with 9 or 8 or 7 prints, I absolutely have not attached that. Thrown away a lot of stuff that you know, I totally years. Really digest. So the problem, I think, for you all is to be willing, can we draw a line about it and put this in a box so that it can be sold? This is a merchandising effort. Let's call a spade a spade. The purpose of my doing here is for Contemporary Forum to raise more money so that your works can get produced and displayed and documented in a manner which you deserve and you're used to. So it's really not about my project, but it's really about ownership.
I have an idea. Let's do something. The one who do the best tree, so we contribute more in the sale of the thing, get the money prize.
Good, you will work that out with her staff.
Like the best post, like the best page, get $500.
From where?
Then you don't pay, you know, it's
We'll give you a gift.
nobody
We've
pays
done-
about
Well, if all of you now pitch in $50, we'll have a band.
I think
Who's voting on?
You'll get a $1,000 membership. You will.
That says the worst print pays $500.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if, with your permission, Carol and I will explain the process of printing and hopefully you'll be all right with it. What I propose to do is that we do photopolymer plates. And it used to be called photopolymer, it used to be called photo etchings. And I brought a sample of a print and a plate that I used to make one etching for one artist. And so I'm going to pass it around. And I always tear the corners off when I have prints that are not part of the edition that I want to sample. So that's why.
You guys, how many of you have like done a lot of printmaking or feel really comfortable?
Good.
Oh.
Okay. So this is a sample of the plate. And that's a sample of the
Yeah.
sugar. Yeah, this is, oh yeah. So as you pass this around, resist? No. This is faster and cheaper. Solar? Yeah, this is a solar plate. Yeah, these are actually done with an exposure unit. But this artist is one of the artists that I worked with for 5 years. We did a show at CAF. This is Jean-Pierre Cabert. He's in his mid-70s now, and he writes code and designs his images. Yes. Right, he did the big vinyl piece of my dining room, and I had a piece down in the hall that looked like a curly. Yeah, so all his work is made from his writing code, so he uses no software. He's an official member of the I Hate Microsoft Club. This is one-off. Each time you read it, just like a traditional. The printing process, where I put on the ink on the plate that comes through the press and comes off, is exactly the same as Goya 400 or 500 years ago. It's exactly the same. So the printing of the putting in the ink, the wiping of the plate, the paper preparation, the style of paper, and the machine we're using is exactly the same as always been around. And then what's different is the way we get the image on the paper. Yes, but I want to immediately say one color for us hand wiping and printing, but there are many ways to affect before and after the work. So, and I'm going to kind of cut that in because I know that we could also just, I could say, well, everyone has to be black and white and write red car, whatever. So